Okay, I was on somebody's platform and apparently I got disconnected. I don't know what happened. But we were talking about Anthony and Amber, and I was talking about how the situation of how she met Anthony and how she met Dave, and how it's the exact same situation. When she met Anthony, she needed help with her business when they came to that bar. She did not have the money, the full amount, and Phil came to Anthony and asked Anthony to help her as far as invest in that business. And he was a silent partner. They got to know each other. And you remember, she had just got done with Wayne. And then, same way she was when it came to Wayne and how Wayne treated her, Anthony was there for her. He supported her. He loved her. And he looked at her as a wife. And that is what he said. She said that she was her own worst disaster. They got together, and not even too long after she got with Anthony, Wayne started coming back around, and Wayne and her ended up sleeping together. The same night Anthony came over there, she did not tell Anthony she slept with Wayne. And it continued all the way up to not only the engagement, but up to the marriage. Okay? So Anthony went into this with his whole heart. Now, when it came to Shayla, that is still Amber's fault because instead of you sending your best friend home, you sent your husband home drunk. And your best friend went over there and took advantage of that man. Now, the second and third time, that was all on him. Okay? He was wrong for sleeping with Shayla. It was wrong. But when he was getting ready to tell Amber the truth about that situation, that is when Shayla told him that she slept with Wayne. Let me tell you something about men, okay? When a man that never thought in a million years that you would ever cheat on him, a man that has been treating you well, a man that has been good to you, has been there for you, and everything. So let's go back a little further. The $250,000. Now, mind you, that was on Anthony because Anthony should have told her what happened when they came to her cousin. But would she have ever met? Would he have ever met Jay if it wasn't for her? When it came to Ernestine, would he have ever met Ernestine if it wasn't for her? When she started staying at that house, she kept bringing people over there. And what did Mama Brenda tell her? Do not let a bunch of people come into your house. And she didn't listen. She told her about Shayla. She didn't listen. She's the one that brought the chaos. She's the one that brought all of that. Because my whole thing in the whole situation is Anthony should not still be doing business with Wayne, and Amber should not still be friends with Shayla, considering what both of them did. Wayne is no better than Shayla, and Shayla is no better than Wayne. Both of them wanted them, and they got them. So my whole thing is everybody is looking at this from the wrong perspective. It ain't nothing but the forbidden fruit when it comes to Adam and Eve, and the serpent that made you go against God by eating that forbidden fruit. This is why we die in the first place. So my whole thing is the wonderful word that is vanity. The 7 deadly sin is vanity. Amber and Anthony are no better than the other. Both of them have done dirt. Both of them have done wrong. Neither one of them are better than the other. Both of them have disrespected each other. Both of them have made each other feel less than what the other one was. She has sat here and talked about that man like a dog. He has talked about her like a dog. Does it make it right? No. But in the end, both of them are wrong. And if you go before a judge, both of y'all cheated. Both of y'all have done wrong. The judge gonna be like, what settlement? Both of y'all got businesses. Both of y'all are doing well. What do you need his money for? You ain't broke. You got money. Because there's a difference between a woman that has never cheated on her husband, who did right by her husband, who took care of the kids, been together for a number of years, versus a woman that cheated before the marriage, and now cheating during the marriage, and flaunted a whole man in front of your husband's face. So y'all got to understand, it don't matter who cheated. The point is, she cheated first. She brought all of this into their marriage. He didn't bring none of this into their marriage. She didn't meet Piari until later on down the line. She didn't meet Dalen until later on down the line. Amber brought Shayla. She brought Phil. No, he knew Phil before then. She brought Shayla. She has brought all of these people into their marriage. She brought them people into her marriage. Brittany, all of these people. When you bring a bunch of people into your marriage, that's like saying a man bringing his mother into his marriage. And that woman is disrespecting his wife. And he's allowing that mother to disrespect his wife. Wouldn't that be the same equation? So at the end of the day, when you are married, it is you and that man. It is not your family. It is not your friends. It ain't none of that should have anything to do with your marriage. They shouldn't even be a part of your marriage. When you get married, you leave your family once you get married. And once you get married, your wife is your best friend. Your husband is your best friend. And that's the problem. Y'all bring people into your marriage that don't belong there. And then when one of your friends is going after your man, or one of your homeboys going after your wife, and yet telling you that you shouldn't be with them, then what? That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is neither one of them is right. I just think both of them need to go ahead on, just get divorced, leave with what they came with, and move on. They do not have children together. Now, the one thing she can get him for that everybody ain't talking about is her losing that baby because of that. Now, it's not even the adultery. How she can get a settlement is the fact that she lost a baby and then lost a secondary adopted child because of the situation. Trauma. But that would mean she'd have to go to therapy. My whole thing is she ain't playing chess, now checkers. She talks too much. She tells people her business entirely too much. And now she's getting ready to tell Shayla about Dave. Isn't that what you did when it came to Anthony? Did you not learn the first time? Why are you friends with a woman that basically slept with your husband? And Anthony, why are you still doing business with a man that slept with your wife? I don't understand. Some things are just critical thinking, common sense, and common judgment. Some things are just about weighing the pros and cons. The bottom line is they need to leave what they came with. She needs to move out. She needs to get her own place because they have not been to court yet. That's what y'all don't understand. They have not been to court yet. There are many people that do not live together and go to court. There are many people that don't even live in the same house and go get divorced. She don't have to stay there. She don't. She wants to stay there because she wants 50%. And the only reason that he's not signing the divorce papers is because he will be consenting to what she's asking for. All he got to do is have his lawyer to draw up her own papers and make her sign it. He ain't thinking like that. We haven't even seen him with his lawyer. We barely see her with her lawyer. Because the reason why that's the case is because Wayne and them are trying to drag this out as long as they can instead of just going ahead and going through with it. Plus, I don't think they have a place where they can basically have them go to court. I think that's part of it too. Because Wayne and them don't have a studio. They don't have a place where they can go into a courtroom and then pretend like they're actually in court. That's what it is. And ain't got nothing to do with anything else except that. That's why Wayne needs to ask Tyler Perry, can he use his studio so we can get this divorce over and done with. Or Wayne needs to build a studio so that way certain things we can actually have. Like Rolanda being in the studio, Natasha being in the office. So my whole thing is they're renting out space, but eventually they're going to tell them they can't. That's why you'll see them in different locations because their time is up. Wayne needs to build his own studio. Wayne needs to take a break and get the studio built while they're still doing the skits. But then again, that's just me. That's why a lot of these skits are not making sense because they don't have a permanent location to do the skits. Because some of those places are not theirs. And that's why they couldn't continue the thing when it came to Diva. Because they had no place to really do the skits. They're mainly outside. That's mainly where they are outside. Wayne needs a studio. He needs to talk to Cat Williams, somebody. Get you a studio so y'all can do these skits properly. With that being said, that's just my thoughts on that. See y'all later.